Okay, we got a good one today. I've had a run-in with a journalist on LinkedIn, and I think this has been my most brutal call out of meat misinformation yet. It starts out in the comments section of a post I made about 6 months ago on my favourite topic, the Dublin Declaration. I tagged Pierre Ederer and Frederick Leroy, the lead authors, as I usually do, so that they can defend themselves if they want to. They never have, because they can't. So I posted 3 papers that debunk the Dublin Declaration of Scientists by Pierre Ederer and Frederick Leroy. Number 1, a rebalanced discussion of the roles of livestock in society. Number 2, the Dublin Declaration fails to recognise the need to reduce industrial animal agriculture. That's the paper that I led. Number 3, the Dublin Declaration, gain for the meat industry, loss for science. I think that about sums it up well, to be honest. I could have added a 4th here, which is the empirical study, which is called something like a high-powered study confirming the misleading nature of the Dublin Declaration. Well, this journalist, Andrea Bertaglio, came on to the post. He commented, "Are you suggesting that livestock is not important to societies around the world? Really?" Now, this is just a week ago, although it was quite an old post. I replied, "Have you read any of the papers I linked? Give them a read, you'll see the criticism. If you prefer something easier, I made this 5-minute video too." And he said, "Will do." I hopped over to his page to see what kind of things he was posting about, and much to my surprise, at his pinned post on LinkedIn was something being critical of plant-based and cultivated meat. He's actually talking about some film called Food for Profit. Food for Profit is an independent film. Seeing its executive producers, some doubts may arise. This is translated from Italian imperfectly by Google Translate, so. Some have millionaire interests in the production of plant-based and lab-grown alternatives to meat and animal products. Maybe there is some conflict of interest here. Is it information, journalism, or just marketing for the profit of the vegan lobby? Well, I couldn't help myself. I commented on this. Looks like you've got some opinions. Wanna talk? Andrea said, "In this case, it is more about facts than opinions. However, I must admit that I cannot stand the hypocrisy of people pretending not to care about profit while actually being driven by it. This is my opinion." I said, "Do you want to have a recorded conversation with me?" He said, "No thanks." I said, "Really? Even if I give you €100 to ask you questions for 30 minutes? He said, "I appreciate the generous offer, but yep." I said, €200 for 30 minutes of your time? He said, "No thanks, it's very kind of you, but I'm not interested right now." So I said, "Andrea Bertaglio, would you be willing to answer questions from a vegan on the record for 30 minutes for €500? No reply. A day later I came back and said, "Well, I guess that shows how much conviction you have in your views that you can't defend them for €1,000 an hour. Woof." And he said, "If anything, I am so convinced of my ideas that I'm not comfortable receiving 100, 200, 500 or €1,000 from the vegan lobby you work for." Doesn't make sense. I said, "Okay, buddy. Just for the record, I'd happily take €1,000 from the meat industry to talk about my views." And of course I would, right? Why wouldn't I? If they just want to ask me questions about my views, I have nothing to hide. I have a consistent worldview. I can defend everything that I say. I'm not posting crap. After that run-in, I saw Andrea posting, again, anti-plant-based meat stuff. Behind the captivating marketing of plant-based foods, he posts, "Even for the environmental world, there is a need for more in-depth reflections. Environmental organisations such as Friends of the Earth Europe have expressed strong criticism of these foods, questioning not only their actual environmental sustainability, but also the claimed benefits for health. For a large proportion of people, a legume soup and an industrial veg burger seem similar foods from a nutritional point of view, but the differences are substantial." Does anyone assume that a veg burger is similarly nutritional to a legume soup? I don't think that that's what it's meant to be, mate. It's a meat alternative. It's not actually a soup alternative, right? If it has a better nutritional value than meat, which it does, by the way, then that's the relevant comparison. Why would you be comparing it to a soup? This is nonsense. Plant-based meat alternatives are way better for the environment and are way healthier than meat from animals. He is doing the classic thing of making a comparison to a legume soup, which is going to be worse than in terms of health, right? And not making a comparison to a beef burger, which is going to be way better than. There's a reason why he's doing this comparison, and it's because he knows that if he compares a plant-based burger to a beef burger, it blows it out of the water on health and sustainability. In fact, that's the comparison he's got in his picture. Here's the paper that I wrote on this topic. Plant-based animal product alternatives are healthier and more environmentally sustainable than animal products. Plant-based animal product alternatives are more sustainable compared to animal products across a range of outcomes, including greenhouse gas emissions, water use, land use, and other outcomes. In terms of healthiness, plant-based animal product alternatives represent a number of benefits, including generally favourable nutritional profiles, aiding weight loss and muscle synthesis, and catering to specific health conditions. Moreover, several studies prevent ways in which plant-based animal product alternatives can further improve their healthiness using optimal ingredients and processing. And of course, we've got the classic ingredients meme. Ingredients over here, beef, ingredients over here, a long list of scary sounding things, in Italian this time. Obviously, this is nonsense, right? This is along with the school of thought of don't eat anything that you can't pronounce. I actually can't pronounce any of this because it's in Italian. So what are you going to do about that? It's just such a dumb, appeal to granddad, the old ways are the best, processed things are bad, this is just such nonsense. And by now I realise that he's got nothing to back this up. I said, if you're confident in this, debate me for €1,000, or show everybody that you've got nothing. 24 likes on this is brutal. He says, I don't want money from the vegan lobby you work for while accusing meat producers of being a lobby. I've already experienced enough of this manipulation of this kind of debate. Besides, dear Chris, these childish provocations are surely not motivating me to do otherwise. It's very poetic. This guy's, first language is Italian. I like the way that it's very poetic in his messages. Nevertheless, I said, okay, good, so you've got nothing. Just to be clear to everyone, Andrea Bertaglio is posting misinformation that he cannot defend for €1,000. It's not because it's childish or manipulative or vegan lobby money, it's because he knows he would be embarrassed if he tried to defend this nonsense. And he said, of course, now go back to your research. I said, there's still time to delete this post and avoid further embarrassment. All those colleagues who can see you would sooner lose €1,000 than defend yourself against a vegan. He said they can all see that you are only provoking and think that you can buy your way out of everything. Buy my way out of everything? I didn't understand this comment at all. You are supposed to be embarrassed here. I think that he's just noticed that I've mentioned money and he's thought buying his way out. If anything, he's buying his way out of talking to me by refusing the money. I'm trying to buy my way in to a conversation with him. I skipped over a couple of comments from random people here saying nonsense. I said, okay, it's manipulative, it's dirty vegan money, it's provoking, it's buying my way out of... You can just say, I'm scared to talk to you because I know I can't defend what I posted and I would rather lose €1,000 than look foolish. There was no reply from Andrea after that, and I mean, what can you say to that? I commented again a couple of days later, this was just yesterday. I honestly don't know what I even could have said that would have made him look worse than this thread did. I really hope that journalists, scientists, people who are spreading misinformation about meat alternatives and about meat will think twice about doing it when they realise that they can be called out and made to look a fool. So yeah, pro-meat scientists, pro-meat journalists, keep on doing what you're doing. You're really making our side look good by proving time and again that you've got absolutely nothing to defend your ideas. Frederick Leroy won't talk to me, Andrea Bertaglio won't talk to me, people of the HDB won't talk to me, people of the Dublin Declaration won't talk to me. None of these pro-meat people have got anything.